Imagine capturing rare footage of a jumping spider in your own backyard. After recently visiting the Daintree Forest in northern Queensland, the jumping spiders I discovered there piqued my interest. After returning home, I kept an eye out for any of these awesome creatures, and you won't believe what footage I captured. In September last year, my family and I visited Cairns in northern Queensland. While there, we ventured to the Daintree rainforest. The Daintree is a significant rainforest due to its incredible biodiversity and its unbelievably complex ecosystem. For us ant keepers, hearing biodiversity gets us quite excited, as we can all expect lots of different species of ants. And trust me, there was no shortage of ant species up there. Within minutes of venturing into the Daintree, I discovered an abundance of weaver ants scurrying along. However, that's just the beginning of the story. The Daintree is a prehistoric rainforest, home to oversized plants, and just about everything can hurt you. However, despite these conditions, animals thrive here. For example, take a look at these awesome fungi that I found. One of my first discoveries was a trapjaw worker foraging the forest floor. This was quite a surprise, as usually trapjaws are found in countries even further north, such as Singapore for example. While trying to get a better shot, the trapjaw fell and she was entangled in spiderwebs. Eventually we were able to free her, however she didn't seem too happy about the whole incident. Further along the trail we stumbled upon some leptomyrmex, otherwise known as spider ants, due to their long legs and slender body, possibly resembling a spider of some sort. As well as this, we found some infamous green tree ants, otherwise known as weaver ants, due to their ability to stitch leaves together to create nests. Unfortunately, I was unable to capture any footage of these nests, as they can often be high up in the trees, though my friend Jordan Dean has a great video that showcases the architectural masterpieces that these ants create. There's a link to his video in the description below. Here you can see the green tree ants and some Chromatogaster species using these vines as mini ant highways to avoid the dense leaf litter on the ground, making commuting much faster. We continued scouring the floor looking for any new ants, as well as looking up to dodge any low-hanging spiky vines. Our bushwalk was coming to an end, until we came across what looked like some kind of bullet ant. However, I believe they may actually be a species of Panera. Let me know down in the comments section what species you think these guys are. Finally, my last discovery that ultimately led to the creation of this video is this awesome northern green jumping spider, scientifically known as Mopsis mormon. This female northern green jumping spider is the biggest known species in Australia, with females measuring at 18mm body length. Although I was holding this spider, supposedly they can bite humans. However, they're not toxic towards us, which is reassuring. This jumping spider is so cool, it's like a little dog or something, the way it looks at your hand before springboarding onto it. Now that I'm back home in Brisbane with ants and jumping spiders freshly on my mind, I decided to have a good look around my house for some cool ants and jumping spiders to film. My adventure began in my backyard where I found some cool critters like this grasshopper type thing. As well as a couple flies around the place. Eventually I found some Polyrhacus workers travelling along a pheromone pathway, so I decided to follow them back to their nest. The ant's trail led up to my back deck where my dog sleeps, and I noticed some activity going on above her. I looked up, and there looked to be a colony of Polyrhacus rufamere residing in my dog's kennel. Here you can see the worker ant cleaning themselves before entering the nest. This specific species of Polyrhacus are fairly identifiable by their gold thorax and distinct red legs. Outside the rufamere nest was a Polyrhacus australis worker who seemed to be stranded. Perhaps the rufamere will be hostile and attack this lone worker. After retracing my steps along the Polyrhacus rufamere trail, I stumbled upon something breathtaking, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. On my handrail, there was this tiny little web trapdoor covering a hole, and out popped a small jumping spider. I've never seen anything like it before. I assume he uses his little hideout as a way to avoid predators like birds or other insects, as well as a method of catching unsuspecting prey, or perhaps to even produce offspring. So I wanted to test this theory by offering a cricket. Based on the jumping spider's reaction to the cricket, I think we can determine that he is either too full, or the cricket was far too large for him to bother taking down. Now, for those of you who don't know, roughly 7 months ago I caught a Myrmecia nigricincta queen. If you want to know exactly how I caught her, I'd recommend going back and watching this video. Just press the little eye in the top right hand corner. Anyway, over those 7 months I've been regularly feeding her with both store-bought crickets and any spiders, flies or crickets that I find around my house. And I can tell you there is a much needed update video for her and her colony. As well as this, I have a small Fidole colony well underway, which is also in need of a video very shortly. After months of not uploading, I'd like to know what you guys think. Should I make a video about my Fidole or bull ant colony next? Or should I make a surprise video? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, it would help heaps if you sent this video to your friends. Hopefully we can get even more people on board with the hobby of ant keeping. Unfortunately, this video wasn't super ant focused. Instead, I showed you some of the critters and wildlife that I found while up in the Daintree rainforest, before focusing on jumping spiders for a moment. However, I hope you enjoyed what I would consider some quite rare footage, as I've never seen anything like this before. If you guys know anything more about jumping spiders that create little hideouts like this, I'd love to read about what you have to say in the comments below. Other than that, I'm glad to be back. Ant Invasion, out.